The envelope trembled in my hands like a live wire, its crisp edges slicing into my palms as I tore it open. Inside, a single sheet of paper. Official, stamped, final. Notice of sale completion. 145 Ocean View Drive. My grandmother's condo. My inheritance. Sold for $750,000. But the buyer's name wasn't mine. It was a stranger's. And the seller. My sister Elena. The world tilted, a roar building in my ears like crashing waves, drowning out the distant hum of traffic below my apartment window. Fury ignited in my chest, hot and blinding, as I crumpled the paper, imagining it was her throat. How dare she? Grandma's voice echoed in my mind, frail but firm on her deathbed. It's yours, Mia. Yours alone. Betrayed. Stolen. By blood. I staggered back, collapsing onto the worn leather couch that still smelled faintly of Grandma's lavender perfume from the boxes I'd unpacked after her funeral 6 months ago. My breath came in ragged gasps, the room spinning with the acrid scent of my own sweat mixing with the stale coffee on the table. Denial hit first, a desperate whisper. This can't be real. Maybe a mix-up, a clerical error. But the details were damning. Elena's signature, forged in a sloppy imitation of Grandma's looping cursive, attached to a power of attorney I'd never seen. She'd done this behind my back while I was drowning in grief, sorting through Grandma's estate like a dutiful granddaughter. Elena had always been the golden child, the one who flitted through life on charm and excuses, while I ground away at my accounting job, paying bills on time, being responsible. Resentment bubbled up, thick and bitter, coating my tongue. She'd taken everything. Our parents' favoritism, the family vacations I missed working summers, and now this. The condo wasn't just property. It was Grandma's sanctuary, overlooking the Pacific, where we'd spent summers baking cookies and watching sunsets paint the sky in fire. Now gone. Sold like a cheap trinket. I paced the cramped living room, the hardwood floors creaking under my bare feet, each step echoing my pounding heart. Humiliation burned in my gut. How had I not seen this coming? Elena had called me 2 weeks ago, her voice syrupy sweet over the phone. Mia, sweetie, how's the sorting going? Anything I can help with? I'd brushed her off, too buried in paperwork to notice the gleam in her tone, the way she fished for details about the will. Obsession took root then, a dark seed sprouting in the fertile soil of my rage. I imagined confronting her, slamming the door in her smug face, watching her squirm as I exposed her fraud. But no, that was too quick, too merciful. She deserved to feel the slow unraveling, the way I'd felt Grandma's hand slip from mine in that sterile hospital room. The afternoon sun slanted through the blinds, casting striped shadows like prison bars across the walls. I grabbed my laptop, fingers flying over the keys, searching public records. There it was. The deed transfer, dated 3 days after Grandma's passing. Elena had moved fast, probably while I was at the funeral home picking out urns. Heartbreak clawed at me, a deep ache that made my vision blur with unshed tears. Grandma had chosen me because she knew Elena's history. The gambling debts, the failed marriages, the endless loans from family that never got repaid. You're the steady one, she'd whispered. Don't let her take it from you. And I'd failed her. Guilt wrapped around my throat like a noose, tightening with every breath. How could I have been so blind? By evening, the apartment felt suffocating, the air thick with the metallic tang of my untouched takeout. I dialed Elena's number, my thumb hovering before pressing call. When she answered, her voice was light, oblivious. Mia, what's up? Miss me already? I swallowed the bile rising in my throat, forcing calm. Just checking in. How's things? We chatted about nothing, her new job at a boutique, the weather in San Diego, while my mind raced. Subtle hints. I mentioned the condo casually, watching for cracks. Oh, that old place. Yeah, Grandma always said it needed work. No admission, but her laugh was too sharp, too forced. Tension coiled in my stomach, a spring ready to snap. I ended the call abruptly, slamming the phone down, the crack of plastic echoing like a gunshot. That night, sleep evaded me, the sheets twisting around my legs like restraints. Fantasies plagued my dreams, waking ones where I hired a lawyer, sued her into oblivion, or darker ones, where I showed up at her door with evidence, watching her empire of lies crumble. But doubt crept in, insidious and cold. Was I capable of this? Revenge wasn't me. I was the peacemaker, the one who forgave Elena's slights growing up. Moral conflict gnawed at me. What if pursuing this destroyed what little family I had left? Our parents were gone, victims of a car crash a decade ago, leaving us orphans in a world that favored the ruthless. Elena had coped by scheming. I'd coped by withdrawing. But now, cold resolve hardened in my veins, a frost that numbed the pain. She made a mistake, I realized, poring over the documents again by lamplight. The power of attorney was dated wrong. Posthumous, impossible. Grandma couldn't have signed it after death. That was her crucial error, the thread I'd pulled to unravel everything. The next morning, rain lashed against the windows, mirroring the storm inside me. I dressed methodically, the fabric of my coat rough against my skin, grounding me. First stop, the county clerk's office, a drab building smelling of dust and bureaucracy. The clerk, a bored woman with wire-rimmed glasses, handed over certified copies without question. "Fraudulent transfer," she muttered, stamping the pages with a thud that resonated in my chest. Armed with proof, I drove to Elena's apartment, the wipers slapping rhythmically like a countdown. The highway blurred through the downpour, headlights piercing the gray haze, my grip white-knuckled on the wheel. Pulling up to her complex, a trendy loft building with glass facades reflecting the stormy sky, I parked crookedly, heart hammering. She opened the door in yoga pants and a messy bun, surprise flickering in her green eyes. Eyes like mine, like Grandma's. "Mia, what are you doing here?" Her voice held a note of wariness, but she ushered me in, the scent of vanilla candles cloying in the air. The living room was cluttered with boxes, new purchases, no doubt funded by my stolen money. We sat on her plush sofa, the cushions sinking under me like quicksand. "I know about the condo," I said flatly, watching her face. Denial flashed. "What?" "I don't." But I cut her off, sliding the papers across the coffee table, the wood cool under my fingers. "You forged it. Sold what was mine." Her composure cracked, tears welling up. Crocodile tears, I thought bitterly. "Mia, listen, I was desperate. I thought I'd buy it back before you noticed." Lies, layered with manipulation. She reached for my hand, but I recoiled, the touch like fire. "You betrayed me. Family." The word hung heavy, laced with resentment. She sobbed, spilling excuses. Childhood jealousies, feeling overshadowed, needing the money for a fresh start. Part of me ached. Heartbreak for the sister I'd once idolized, but obsession drowned it out. This was just the beginning. I left her there, crumbling, the door clicking shut behind me like a lock turning. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving puddles that reflected my distorted face. Planning began in earnest that drive home, my mind a whirlwind of strategies. Hire a private investigator. Alert the authorities. Or something more personal, more devastating. Fear flickered. What if she fought back, dragged me into court, exposed our family's skeletons? But resolve won, a steel core forming. She'd pay slowly, deliciously. Days blurred into a haze of quiet calculation. I worked from home, the glow of my computer screen illuminating stacks of printouts. Bank statements tracing the sale proceeds to Elena's account, emails from her realtor boasting about the quick flip. Humiliation resurfaced each time I saw the numbers. $750,000, enough to change my life, squandered on her whims. Inner thoughts warred. One voice urged forgiveness, whispering of blood ties. Another, darker, fantasized her ruin. I chose the latter, researching fraud laws late into the night. The keyboard clicks a rhythmic mantra. A week later, I met with a lawyer, Mr. Harlan, in his oak-paneled office smelling of leather and old books. "This is airtight," he said, adjusting his tie, his voice gravelly. "Forgery, embezzlement. We can freeze her assets, press charges." Dialogue flowed naturally, revealing my suppressed rage. I want her to feel it. Every penny. He nodded, eyes sympathetic yet calculating. Revenge through the courts, clean but slow. Perfect for the burn I craved. As I left, a text from Elena buzzed. Please, Mia. Let's talk. I can make it right. Manipulation, pure and simple. I ignored it, the phone vibrating like a trapped insect in my pocket. Tension mounted with each ignored call, her voicemails escalating from pleading to accusatory. You're being dramatic. Grandma would want us to share. Liar. Obsession deepened. I dreamed of her face contorted in panic, the way mine had been. Subtle hints of vengeance emerged. I anonymously tipped off her employer about financial irregularities, watching from afar as whispers spread. Her social media posts grew sparse, her smiles forced in photos. Guilt pricked me. Was I becoming her? Moral conflict raged, but resentment fueled me forward. The condo buyer contacted me, confused by the dispute. I assured him politely, planting seeds of doubt. By month's end, the lawsuit papers were served. Elena's reaction via a frantic call. How could you? I'm your sister. My response, cold. Were you mine when you stole from me? The line went dead, suspense hanging like a blade. The courtroom loomed like a coliseum, its polished marble floors echoing my heels' sharp clicks, the air thick with the scent of polished wood and stale coffee from the vending machines outside. Elena sat across the aisle, her once vibrant hair dulled, eyes ringed with shadows that spoke of sleepless nights. Our gazes met, hers pleading, mine unyielding, and a shiver of cold resolve coursed through me. This was it, the culmination of weeks of planning, the slow unraveling I'd orchestrated. But beneath the fury, doubt lingered. Would victory heal the heartbreak or just deepen the void? The judge's gavel fell with a crack that jolted my spine, calling the session to order. Mr. Harlan presented the evidence meticulously, his voice steady as he detailed the forgery, the timelines that didn't add up. Elena's lawyer, a slick man in a pinstripe suit, countered with tales of sisterly misunderstanding, painting her as the victim of circumstance. She took the stand, her hands trembling on the rail, voice quavering. I never meant to hurt her. Mia, you know me, we're family. Manipulation dripped from every word, but the jury shifted uncomfortably, sensing the cracks. My turn came, the witness box hard and unforgiving under me. She sold my future, I said, voice breaking authentically on the grief. Grandma trusted me, not her. Resentment flared in Elena's eyes, a mirror to my own. Outside, during recess, she cornered me in the hallway, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like angry bees. Stop this, Mia. Please. I'll give you half. Her perfume, once comforting, now cloyed, mixing with the institutional smell of floor wax. I leaned in, whispering, You made the mistake of thinking I'd roll over. Like always. She recoiled, humiliation etching lines on her face. Tension thickened the air between us, unspoken threats hanging like storm clouds. Back in session, the buyer's testimony sealed it. He'd been unaware, but the power of attorney screamed fraud. Elena's crucial mistake glared under scrutiny. Not just the date, but a notary stamp from a friend who'd since confessed to backdating it for a cut. Hidden motives unraveled. Her gambling debts weren't just old habits. They tied to a shady loan shark pressuring her. Obsession gripped me as I watched her squirm, fantasies of justice morphing into reality. The verdict came swiftly. Guilty of fraud. Assets frozen, restitution ordered. Elena's face crumpled, sobs echoing in the quiet room. But as they led her out, for probation not jail, a twist gnawed at me. In the evidence pile, a letter from Grandma, unearthed by the investigator. To my girls, share if needed, but Mia decides. Had I misinterpreted? Guilt surged, hot and unexpected. Was my revenge born of resentment or something uglier? Jealousy of her freedom. Post-trial I claimed the funds, the check heavy in my hand like blood money. Elena vanished, her apartment emptied overnight, a note left. You win. But family. Gone. Heartbreak hit anew, layered with regret. I'd pursued vengeance, but at what cost? Months later, stability returned. The condo repurchased, though echoes of betrayal lingered in its empty rooms. Then the shocking twist. A knock at my door revealed Elena, gaunt but defiant. "I found something," she said, handing over a hidden codicil to Grandma's will. "She left me a trust separate. But you were the executor. You could have shared." The paper shook in my grasp. Grandma's writing, detailing a small fund for Elena's redemption. I'd overlooked it in my grief-fueled haste. Moral grayness crashed over me. My revenge justified? Or had I become the betrayer? Elena's eyes held no rage, only weary resignation. "We're even now." She turned away, the door closing softly, leaving me in silence. Poetic justice twisted bitterly. I'd won the condo but lost my sister. Obsession faded to hollow resolve. The pursuit had consumed us both. In the end, betrayal's scar ran deeper than blood, a wound that time might heal or fester forever.